stuff like that. All right, I finally made it. Hey guys, D Williams here, and we are live. And I am excited that we are live. I am really putting myself in a space where I want to come and hang out with you all a little bit more often. And so we're going live today. I want to talk about a couple of things. I hope y'all are having an absolutely phenomenal day. I just sent an email out too, just to let everybody know I'm here. So look, if this is your first time hanging out with me, I'm D Williams. I help professionals start, build, scale legacy businesses, unleash their ideas, all that great stuff. And today we're talking about staffing because most people know me for helping with staffing businesses. I'm pretty good at that. Actually, I'm probably was one of my favorite things in the world to do is to help people build their staffing businesses, to set them up, to build them, to generate revenue. And I've kind of got a good energy about me when it comes to building businesses. And I'm not here to talk about me. I'm really here to talk about what's going on in and around us. But I just somebody mentioned the other day, like, I don't really know a lot about you, but so just giving you a little bit of feedback. One of my areas of expertise is turning, I want to say turning broke people into millionaires, but I mean, I do really well with helping people take their ideas that are kind of chopped up and to put them into a full business model, like a system, and then helping them to get the business actually up and going. So they take it from idea to actually set up through execution, and then supporting them while they're actually taking the time to generate revenue and to grow their businesses. And I would say the men do really well, do very, very well. I've got a couple of great clients that are in the multimillionaire phase. When they started with me, they started with an idea. And now here a few years later, they're making 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 million in their business. So I'm always really proud, and I'm kind of smiling because I talked to 2 at least in the last 48 hours, and just seeing the things that they're doing and watching them grow is just phenomenal. Not to say my ladies are not doing their thing, because you already know that when we put our minds to something, we're unstoppable, right? But I just love helping people take their ideas out and really bring them to life. And so I have been having a lot of conversations with people about, like, what is the future of staffing looking like, right? D, it's like, you acting like you trying to go elsewhere, is staffing dead? I'm like, heck no. The thing is that where there is opportunity, where there are layoffs, there are opportunities. Where there's change, there's opportunity. And we're in a great space, in my opinion, where there's a lot of change and a lot of opportunity happening. And I want you all to think about that. That's really what I wanted to talk to you about today, because I've been watching some of the stories in the news, and they were talking about how people from the federal government are being laid off, and certain industries are being impacted by AI and different things like that. But for all of the industries, all the jobs that are being laid off, and all of the industries that are being impacted, there are even more companies and industries that are hiring. But they're hiring for something specific. They're looking for a specific skill set. You see, the jobs that we worked yesterday aren't going to really be the jobs that we work tomorrow, right? And what I believe is about to happen is about to be a major shift and a major split in society in the way we work. I feel like many of us are going to move and turn into entrepreneurs because that's the only thing that we know how to do, right? That's the next most logical move. Or because we're going to take those ideas or take the checks, because a lot of companies that are laying off, they're going to give you a check for a couple of years that you can live off of, and you can go and do your thing. So many people may do that as well. But you also have this other side where you're going to have people who are actually working, and they're going to be defining what the new era of work truly is. And it's going to be up to you to define what side of the scale you're going to be on and what solutions you'll offer for the future. I think everyone knows at this point that our government is really pushing AI in a very massive way. And so learning AI and understanding how to work AI and maybe even creating businesses or working for companies who are looking to keep ethics within AI, one, right? To keep AI ethical because we're training it. And if we're already in one mindset and we're training AI into the same mindset where AI is going to think the way society thinks. So we need to make sure that we have people out here who are training AI. We have to have people out here who are finding ways to ensure that AI stays as a tool and does not essentially rule, right? And that's very important. That's very, hey Latrice, thank you. That's very important. Latrice, she said I have positive energy. I love that. So those are things that are very important. So it's like, where do we stand in that? Now, the third thing I'm going to throw out there is the next piece of employment is that you're going to be working with robots and AI as a team. Like the next group or the next wave of employees, they're going to be working with AI as a team. They're going to be working with, let me stand up. Ugh. They're going to be working with AI. Y'all don't know. I've been traveling, so it's been a little crazy. They're going to be working with AI. I got a standing desk, though. Give me a second. Let it rise up with me. Hey, Dr. Castle. I missed you yesterday, honestly. So they are, now you can't see my lights. They are, there we go. There we go. That's going to be a very interesting thing. I'm just going to say that. That's going to be super interesting. And that's where those AI agents are going to come in. I feel like we're going to see a lot of, companies talking about AI agents. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a live webinar coming up soon talking about that. That's not what this is about. But if y'all want to get in on that, we're going to do that. I have a couple of workshops that are coming up actually to help you all understand AI a lot better, maybe in an easier way and to see how you can fit it either into your career and or your business. Because again, we're about to be at a very cutting edge in society where you're going to have to define, what am I going to do? Am I going to do AI? Am I going to work? Am I going to have my own business? How am I going to do that? And if you're going to do either or, you are going to experience some objections when you're trying to reach out, right? In real life. So whether you're looking for a job, because I've talked to some people, they're like, I'm having a hard time finding a job, but they're trying to start a business, or maybe you should start your business, whatever, right? Or whether you're starting your business, when you are connecting with people and you're having conversations with them and you're trying to articulate your desire to support them in some way, whether that be through employment or be through business, you're going to come across objections. And with the way things are going, I believe many of us are going to have to take control of our lives. I know in the past year, I've had to really, Lord, this last year has been crazy, right? But many of us are going to have to take control of our lives in a very different type of way. And that's going to require us to step out of our comfort zone, right? I had a young lady call me today and she's like, D, I saw your video online. I want to buy your conversation cards, right? Conversation cards. That's my other project. Your flashcards, right? For the objections flashcards. She's like, I have this business and I want to do, and she said it was a staffing business. It wasn't a staffing business. I think she just wanted to play with me, but play is in a good way. But she was really excited about the cards and even more excited about the class that I have that accompany the cards, right? So you can purchase access to the live class. So if you want to actually bring your cards and come to the live class, you can. And so we're having this conversation, and she says, I have all of these ideas. I have all of these businesses. I've got my insurance license. I don't know if she says she's a real estate agent, but she's like, I've got all of these things, but haven't made any money off of any of them. I haven't done anything with them. And so I said, okay. She said, and so my fears when I'm calling is like, they're like, I don't want to use you. It's like every objection you could think of that's already like running through her mind, right? So that's why she was interested in the cards, which is a great, she's like a prime example of what I think a lot of you are experiencing. Yeah, like, I see people liking. Thank you. Like this video. Like and love this video, please, and share it. Thank you. I never forget to say, I always forget to say those things. Just having fun with y'all. But so I think a lot of you are kind of going through that. Hey, Jay. Hi. Oh, Joy. Hey, Joy. How are you? I think a lot of people are going through that. I think there are a lot of you all out there that are super afraid to make phone calls. You're super afraid to pour your heart into the initiative that you are working on. And that is that is a space to be in. And I think you're afraid because you don't know what other people are going to say. You don't know how you're going to get it, or maybe you've tried it and you've gotten back things like, like we don't use agencies, or send me an email. These are all my cards, y'all. Y'all know I just did these cards. And I was showing you how to use them. I created all these videos of me actually like using the cards because they're actually very helpful, especially like if you're having a full conversation. And objections are real. I'm not even going to tell you a story. People are going to tell you no. It's kind of like dating. Y'all know I'm always using dating. It's kind of like dating. You got to date a lot of people before you find your person. I mean, some people meet, people like, oh, I saw her the first time I saw her or him, and I knew he was the one. I've not had that situation happen to me, so I'm not familiar with that. But just like dating, you have to kind of, you date a lot of people before you find that right one. So when you're having conversations with customers, when you're having conversations with clients, when you're having conversations, even to go out and find that next opportunity, you're going to deal with people who are going to come in and say no, or why, what makes you different. Send me an email. I don't really need you right now, or whatever the case may be. And my question to you is, how do you handle that? How do you pour your soul into you? What makes you different? And so these conversation cards are a great opportunity and a great way for you to utilize it. And we have a class if you'd like to come to check it out. Now, what's going on in your industry? Like, how are the layoffs affecting your industry, or are the layoffs affecting your industry? And that's my first question. I put that in the description, but I'm kind of curious to hear, are you experiencing layoffs, like, or in your industry? Are you seeing that? Are you seeing companies like, letting people go consistently? Like, what are you experiencing? That's my first question. I got a couple of questions. My second question is, a number of you have been really excited about the idea of having flashcards to help with objections. How are you experiencing objections? Like, what, and if so, what are they? Like, what type of objections are you getting back when you are reaching out to employers? Or the question is, are you not reaching out to people because you're afraid of the rejections? Because a lot of times that could be the situation too, right? It really can be a fear thing, but it also, you can take the same fear and turn it into something so much more. And typically fear turns into comfortability when you feel comfortable with what you're going to say. That's why got your flashcards. It's too expensive. If you're a newbie and you're just starting out and they tell you it's too expensive, I hear you. Affirm their feeling. I hear you. I agree. Don't say I agree. I hear you, right? I got my little card right here. I just put it in front of my computer. So when I talk to them, I could just read it off if I need to. I hear you. Budget is always a priority. What would it look like if you could reduce your hidden costs, like overtime or turnover? I'd love to share how others in similar situations have approached this, right? That's an easy way to respond to someone who says something like that. What if your company says, we're already working with someone? We're already working with someone. What do you say? That's great. I'd love to learn more about what's working well for you. Are there specific areas like last minute needs or hard to fill roles where additional support could make a difference? Because it's like, just because they're working with someone doesn't mean that they don't need additional support. That person, the person that they're working with, may not always show up. They may not always come through. And it may be the very phone call that you make to them. That's the time when something like that has showed up for them. They could be feeling the burn right now, but it didn't think of the fact like, oh, I could have a backup. So you just putting that out there for them just changes the game. You know what I'm saying? You're planting the seed. But what you don't want to do is just get off the phone and let it go. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to just get off the phone and let it go. You want to try to keep the conversation going as long as possible in order to understand what they have going on and to get them to get the buy-in for an appointment on the calendar so y'all can get even further into the conversation. That's really the goal. People texting me right now saying, tell me more, D, tell me more. I'm just saying, I know I'm kind of giving out the goods a little bit. Y'all just need to go get the flashcards to get all the good stuff. I'm not to say this is not the good stuff, but even this is one of my favorite ones. This is, we don't have any needs right now, because I'm sure you hear that often, right? We don't have any needs right now. I completely understand. Many times I speak with, many teams I speak with feel the same but I'm sorry, I can't even read my own daggone handwriting. I completely understand. Many teams I speak with feel the same, but appreciate having proactive options for when challenges arise. How do you currently prepare for unexpected vacancies or surge demands? Right? So just taking it back, re-asking a question, not letting them get off the phone, connecting with them, affirming that you agree with what they're saying and that you have a clear understanding of the response that they gave you. Things like that. So get your flashcards whenever you get a chance and just study. I feel like people who be starting businesses, I know I probably shouldn't have said that right. I don't know if I said that right, but people who start businesses and, new entrepreneurs, I feel like they're like excited about the hype of the business, of being the business owner, legalizing the business, having all of that stuff in play. But they're not always willing to do all of the work that needs to go in with making the business come to life. Like even having flashcards, like most people wouldn't even think of that, right? But if you want to feel comfortable in your conversations, if you want to show up a certain way, then naturally you want to study as you did when you were in school. And so just creating habits for yourself like that are loving habits for your business, I believe is imperative. And sometimes you got to step out your comfort zone. Y'all don't know how many times you could go in my bathroom and I've got index cards everywhere, so that I can remember, because I remember visually, I remember by singing, I remember by dancing, I remember by moving, I remember by writing. It takes me a lot to remember things that maybe, I want to say that it just takes me a lot. I learn differently. I need a lot of, memory. So, I want you to find ways to feel comfortable and confident in your conversations when you are connecting with people. Speaking of which, everyone that you come in contact with, I believe you should be touching in some way, not necessarily physically, but I mean engaging with them. I have a new friend who is a very interesting guy. I just went to an event with he and his girlfriends, and they're a great couple. But he and I have a good energy about each other, where I think we can compete with certain things. I don't know what, but one of the things that I like about him is he didn't really know what I did for a living. So but I watched him work. I knew what he did for a living. He's a insurance guy, I think, right? Insurance. And he walked up to me one day. So that's how we met. He walked up to me. I'm in Whole Foods. Now, y'all don't see me every day, but I pretty much get dressed every day. And when I say dressed, I'm talking about stilettos, skirt, dress, like I'm dressed, right? So I'm moving around the city. I look very nice. He saw that. He said something to me. He said, my girlfriend's in the car waiting for me, but I just want to say you are killing it out here. Da, da, da. What do you do? I said, oh, I build tech platforms and I'm a business consultant. He said, okay, cool. Let's exchange information. We exchange information. So, we were hanging out or whatever. So anyway, we go to lunch and a guy, he sees a guy that he wants to go and approach and to build a relationship with. And so I'm watching him work because y'all already know that I say, like, the fortune is in the follow-up. People do business with people they like and know and trust. I'm giving y'all all of these things, right? So we're sitting there, we're talking, I'm eating. He's talking smack to me about drinking wine. I'm talking smack to him about eating meat. And he says, I'm going to go talk to that guy right there. And I go, oh, okay. What are you going to go talk to him about? He said, just watch. I said, okay. So he gets up, he goes over to the guy. I was like reading his lips and he says something to the guy about, do you play sports or something like that? And the guy was kind of off put, kind of like, what? Like that. And then he said something about his build in sports. And then the guy said, yeah, actually, I used to play in college. And then they fist pumped or whatever. So he says to the guy, what do you do? He says, actually, I own a hotel in Costa Rica. I, of course, went crazy because, I want to own a hotel in Costa Rica. And here's this guy owning a hotel in Costa Rica. I'm like, hey, that's my dream. Y'all come over here. So we start talking and I end up exchanging number with the guy that was in, who owned the hotel in Costa Rica, because of course that's one of my dreams. And so he was telling me what I need to do and all of these other things. And so when all of that was said and done, I'm sitting at the bar with my friend and I say, hey, you didn't ask the guy to buy like your business. Like you didn't ask him for a meeting he's like, no, you got that one. I was like, wait, what? He's like, you got that one. I said, God, get one. Then my mind started to process. So I go, are you competitive by any chance? And he says, oh yeah, I'm very competitive. I said, you'll be my new rival. He said, honestly? I said, honestly, you're going to be my new rival. And so now we've created this friendship where we compete. It's friendly competition, but where we compete. And so now I believe like every time we go out, we're going to be on a mission to see who's going to be able to connect with the most people. But connecting isn't the most important piece, even though it is the starting point. It's the follow-up that's most important. So I've already followed up with the Costa Rican guy like 3 times, like, to let him know I'm serious. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad. How's your mom? He mentioned his mom. I don't want that connection to go away. So the fortune is in the follow-up. People do business with people they like, know, and trust. The fortune is in the follow-up. So that first connection is important. And I challenge you to go out there and to find you a partner to kind of be your rival. You know what I'm saying? But in a positive way. Now, this is going to be and I believe it should be someone of the opposite sex personally, because I feel like for women at least, because I feel like sometimes women can be catty and the competition can end up turning into something not like what you want it to be. And then you'll lose a great friend. That's also happened to me recently, but I didn't even know I was competing. But now that I've had that experience, I can identify now when people want to compete with me. I don't know why people want to compete with me, but and so now, and I can take a great relationship where it's out in the open. Hey, I like your energy, D. You get me fired up. You make me want to do some ish. So let's compete. Let's go. But not like the backhanded stuff, which you see a lot of times with women. So I do suggest with the opposite sex, because then it's not that type of energy, and it can be fun and exciting and so forth. So of course his girlfriend is cheering for him and not me, but I think she's secretly cheering for me because I'm a girl. And so she wants to see like, go team girls, right? So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that you all get to find a partner that really challenges you and helps you step out your comfort zone. But also, I hope that you felt the energy of not being afraid to just walk up and to start having conversations with someone. If you have a business specifically that you are launching or that you have launched, it is your job to market your business in the beginning solely. You know what I'm saying? Solely. I mean, so very, very, very important in the beginning. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that love. Uh, um, so very important in the beginning. There are a lot of newbies on this channel that are afraid to start their business. They're afraid to get out and to talk to someone. There are a lot of people who are scared shitless about marketing their business, Andrew, right? Everybody doesn't come to the table, ready, or I don't want to say ready, but everyone doesn't come to the table with the same energy, heart, with the same confidence is really the word that I'm looking for that others may come with. And as a business coach, I work with people every day who invest their money and their time into trying to increase their confidence so that they can see their idea that they have come to life. There are more people out here who have business licenses and are generating $0 than there are people out here who have full-fledged running companies that generate revenue. And there's a reason for that. And the biggest reason is a lack of confidence, not being able to feel confident enough to just get up and go and do your thing. And so the conversations that I'm having today, these are conversations that, as adolescent as they may be, people aren't having these conversations. And these are experiences that real people are having every day. Real people are having these experiences every day. They will invest $5,000, $10,000, $25,000. They invest 10 times more to build a business and then won't do anything with the business because they're afraid or because they don't have the confidence to have those conversations. It is not easy to just randomly get up and walk and start talking to somebody that you don't know. That takes courage. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know if they're having a bad day. If you've had experiences in the past where you've done that and it can be overwhelming. So thank you for the compliment, but I'm here to support people who genuinely need it, who really want, who are afraid to come out and say, yeah, I'm afraid to make that phone call. I'm afraid to talk about my business, but I know I want my business to come to life. So if I can get just a little bit of encouragement, if I can get a little bit of confidence, then I feel like that will be the changing point or the changing tide for my business. So I'm going to keep talking to everybody and I'm going to keep supporting everybody. That's what I enjoy doing. And that's who I really talk to most of the time. They don't have a lack of money per se. They just have a lack of courage. And that is normal especially when you're starting something new, you're stepping out of your comfort zone. If you've been an employee all your life and now you're like, I'm about to start a business, that ain't so easy to just get up and start talking to people. You know what I'm saying? That's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Sometimes that it's just a little scary, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. You just got to turn that fear around and use it and turn it into something different. So now, all right, I'm getting ready to go into my meeting, but I wanted to come in, chop it up with you all a little bit, talk to you a little bit about the conversation, about the layoffs and the different things that are happening, see where you all are, how you're experiencing that or how you're dealing with that. I wanted to talk to you about the flashcards. Make sure that you all are utilizing them, you know what I'm saying, in a good way. Young lady asked earlier about the classes. The classes are on Monday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And those classes are one-on-one, not one-on-one, in a group. I would just tell you that, but we're going through objections. So everybody gets to hear everybody else's objection. You get a tiny bit of lecture in the beginning, and then we go into objections with practice. Call and repeat practice and different things like that. We work on a different objection every week, typically 2 to 3, and you'll have a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, you can just go to staffingpreneursacademy.com And there's information there. You can go to the shop and look at that as well. I'll be back live again soon. Probably, maybe not today, maybe today, but I'm going to definitely start streaming in live a lot more. I slowed down a lot, so I'm got to get warmed back up again. And but I have things I want to show y'all. I'm just waiting for two things to happen. And then I think I can start moving in that direction. But I've got a lot of cool things to show y'all. I definitely want to connect with you all with the live workshop. I have a couple of live workshops that I want to get you into. What'd you say, Dr.? Oh, thanks, Dr. Castle. Yeah, I love teaching my classes, but I have a couple of live workshops, but they're not really staffing related. So we do have one that's staffing related. The workshop that's coming up is about creating AI agents. So maybe you'll staff people and staff AI agents. That's going to be a lot of fun. We also have Unleash Your Ideas workshop where you come together. If you have all those pieces, just like that young lady earlier, she's got all of these different pieces. Okay, D, how do I take these pieces and make it into something real, right? Or I just got one thing and I just want to make that one thing real. We're going to do an Unleash Your Ideas workshop. The Unleash Your Ideas workshop is actually going to be two-part. We're going to do one part online, and then we have 2 live classes in person. I'll be back in Dallas, okay? And then I will also be here in LA. So that's going to be pretty cool. You can be staffing, you cannot be staffing, but that's going to happen in the next month or so, right? We'll be in Dallas. We will be I would like to do Detroit, to be honest with you. I would love to do Detroit, but we're going to definitely do Dallas because my market is mainly Texas, or my biggest market is in Texas, California, and Georgia. So we're going to definitely do Dallas, and we'll definitely do California. I don't know about Georgia just yet, but we're going to have a great time, and we're going to be unleashing our ideas and bringing them to life. I'm trying not to be overwhelmingly excited about that part. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh my gosh. And I gotta tell just a few things. We're having an idea-thon coming up. If you don't know what that is, just be ready because it's coming up. So we're definitely having an idea-thon. So be ready for that. I have a boot camp coming out, a course boot camp coming up. So that's happening. I have so many things planned. I am so I was telling my development team, I can't still, I'm ready to do things, but we're waiting for a design to finish. I'm ready to go now. But y'all are going to start seeing, the stuff about the workshops. I want y'all to come to the workshops. I want y'all to have fun. A few of them, we're going to have some free workshops. We're going to have some paid workshops. But each workshop kind of leads on to something else. If you played with me before, I'm always building on something, right? To get you from point A to point B. And I'm really excited about that. You see, my cheeks are burning. So we're going to do that as well. So we're going to have fun. It's going to be fire up in this joint. And I look forward to y'all hanging out with me. I hope you share this video with somebody you feel like could really use this video, because we are really talking about stepping out of our comfort zone, having courage, right? And being able to, it's kind of crazy times out here right now. So just doing that. And I just want to say thank you for watching my video, and then come back and visit me soon when I do my next video. So that means you got to subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube, and hit the bell so you'll know. If you're on all the other channels, you'll be able to see the live notification come up. And let's have fun in the next video. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.